Hello! We have had a glorious day of sunshine today, believe it or not. After 3 weeks of pretty much constant rain, it was definitely needed. However, there are grey skies now and it looks like it's probably going to rain. But I've come up to the allotment and I'm going to be sowing some seeds for August. A lot of them will be to overwinter, quite a lot of them for in the polytunnel, and the rest of them will mainly be flowers to overwinter and grow on next year. There's quite a lot that you can sow this time of year, believe it or not. I'm generally really bad at winter sowing. I'm generally really poor at growing on the allotment over the winter, other than kale and some brassicas. I've never really had a polytunnel this size to work with. We have had a smaller polytunnel which we have grown sort of pak choy and sort of like mustards and lettuce and winter salads and things in. But this year we're really going to experiment with what we can grow in here. So there are a lot of seeds that I'm going to start off today. So I guess we should crack on. So I've just sieved the compost and now I have nice fine compost ready to sow my seedlings in. I find I have more success with sieved compost, or even cocoa is pretty good to start seedlings off. It's nice and fine and it's easy for them to germinate in. Satisfying. So all of the seeds that I'm going to be sowing today will be sown in little module trays, all different sizes and different numbers of cells depending on how many seedlings I would like, how big the seeds are, how quickly I'm going to have to pot them on, things like that. They're all going in modules because I'm hoping that a lot of them are going to end up in the polytunnel once all of this is cleared out in a few months, and we'll plant quite a lot of them in here. So we have made a little makeshift shelf next to us off a small plastic greenhouse that I had in the front garden for a while. So that is going to house all of the seedlings until they germinate. You can obviously do them straight into the ground. A lot of things this time of year you can keep them outside. That is just a setup that we're going with for this particular time of year, just for room. Pretty much the entire allotment is crammed full as it usually is this time of year, so we're kind of stuck for room in the beds and things to direct sow, but things will be absolutely fine in modules. Obviously they will need potted on, but that will be a problem of space that I'll deal with in a few weeks. So this little shelving unit behind me is where the seedlings are going to go. We'll have some bits and bobs on here already, one being the Swiss chard that I sowed a while ago and the radish, which is going to get planted out soon because they're quite a decent size now and they're definitely ready to go out. I have neglected them slightly. They've been ready for a few weeks now, but just had stuff on that meant that they were just left on the shelf, but they'll be fine. But in my hand I've got some more seeds that I'm going to sow today. So I have some other varieties of chard. This is white silver 2. This is a really nice variety. I like growing this one all year round, and bright lights chard as well. The colours on the stems on this one are always beautiful, and sometimes I just want to harvest them and put them in a vase on the table, to be honest, but they would make a lovely decoration. And also one that I'm going to try and grow for the first time that I've actually never grown before is Ford Hook Giant. So it's another white stem variety. You can pick it when it's young for a constant crop, or you can wait until it gets a bit bigger. You can sow it until July, but we're going to be growing this in the polytunnel over the winter this year, so it'll be fine to sow that now. It is only the 8th of August. I'm probably going to say that a lot in this video because a lot of these are July sowing that I probably could have done last month, but just for whatever reason didn't quite get round to it. Also gonna sow some black round radish. This is a specific winter variety radish. It's really quite peppery and spicy, and it's the skin on the radish that makes it quite hot. They're black on the outside, white on the inside. They're really good raw, they're really good cooked. I grew these last year quite a lot, all the way through the winter, and they were really prolific, as radish usually are. So that's definitely one to add to the list. I'm going to try and get another sowing of white Lisbon spring onions. These are my go-to spring onions. They're my favourite variety. I also do like Red Holland, which are somewhere, which I'll be sowing those ones as well. I've got some outside and I've got some in the beds that I still need to harvest. But you can just pick them whenever you want them, and these are going to be grown in the polytunnel, so they should be fine to have over winter as well. I'm going to try and get a crop of beetroot from in the polytunnel. This is Chioggia variety, so this is the pink one with the lovely white spirals in the middle. It's absolutely beautiful when you cut it to cook it. It's almost too pretty to want to eat. We're also going to try Bolt Hardy as well, which is another really reliable variety. So they're all going to go in the polytunnel to overwinter. We don't have a heater or anything at the moment. That might be something that we will look into as the winter sort of approaches a bit more, just to keep it nice and toasty in here. We want it to be kind of a controlled environment so that it's a constant temperature rather than the influx of hot and cold, which is what you want in the summer as well, to be honest. But we'll see. We have had really cold winters here the past 2 or 3 years. Last year I think it got down to sort of -8, -10 at some points, which is pretty chilly. Obviously it would be marginally warmer in the polytunnel, but we'll see how they go. But that's what I'm going to be sowing now. Tell me I'm not the only person who scrambles around finding already used labels and rubbing off what's already on them, and then who can't find a Sharpie or pen and writes on them with a dodgy orange fine tip. I can't be the only one. Have a very cute little helper today. Oh, he is a bit of a hindrance, but I'm also gonna try and sow some onions from seed for the first time ever. I have tried once before and it was a mammoth exhibition variety or something like that, the really sort of big beefy kind of onions, and we left them in the smaller polytunnel to overwinter. Had a horrendous storm, lost the greenhouse and the cover off the polytunnel, and all of the onion sets, the shallots, the seeds, everything that would kind of put in there to protect them over the really cold winter months was just gone. Basically it was just flown across the allotment, so didn't ever manage to harvest an onion that would grown from seed that year, but we'll try again. So these are a Sensu yellow variety. I'm gonna just keep them in the polytunnel over winter, and then I believe I will be harvesting these in June next year if all goes to plan. Let me know if you've had any success with growing onions from seed before. I know a lot of people actually say that they have more success with seeds than they do sets. I think Jessie, plot 37, says that. So maybe I'll have a chat with Jessie about some tips for growing the onions, but I'm gonna give these a go. And also gonna sow some more broccoli rabs. So this is the 60-day broccoli. You just harvest the flower heads, the little florets. Gonna get some more of this in as well. And the final things that I'm going to sow today are actually all flowers. Flowers from seed are not something that I've ever really got into. I really like buying bulbs and planting bulbs and buying plug plant flowers from like local nurseries and things, which is also really good. I think it is really good to support local nurseries and things, especially independent ones like Beverages in Ebchester. If you are local to Newcastle, check them out. It's a lovely little family run independent nursery with beautiful views as well and beautiful plants. But I'm going to sow some flower seeds for next year. So these are from the Rose Press Garden, and it's a seed subscription box. I'm not paid to advertise it or anything like that. I was sent the box, but I was under no obligation to post about it on here or anything like that. So what I do have is Honesty mixed. These are a purpley variety. I have white forget-me-nots. I have some foxgloves, some hollyhocks. These are Cheaz Double Pink, and I've grown these before, not from seed but as a bare root, and they're a beautiful, beautiful flower. They grow so tall. They have like double petals. They're amazing, and Cheaz Double Pink is a very, very special variety to me, so I'm looking forward to those. I will try and cherish and nurture those so that I get some flowers on them next year. And I also have Canterbury Bells. So I'm going to sow these all outside. I'm going to keep them in my backyard, and these will hopefully all be going into a wafty border in the front garden at home. We moved house in February and I just haven't got around to doing anything with either garden yet, so that's my plan for these. So fingers crossed I keep them alive long enough that they will flower. I'm sure I will. So this is our makeshift shelving from the greenhouse. We are missing some shelves. This came to Hampton in the back of the van and had loads of plants on, so a few things have obviously went missing. I do know where one of them is but I'll try and find the rest so we can squeeze some more seedlings on here. But these are the radish that I sowed a while ago. I'm going to get these planted out into some gaps at the front. This is the Swiss chard that I sowed a few weeks ago as well. This is the rainbow variety. These will need potted on and possibly pricked out. I must have sowed a few too many in there by accident. And then these are the seedlings that I've sowed today. So the onions and the chard, radish, lettuce, everything. So we'll see how these get on in here. So that is me for a day. Got a lot of things sown. Now the tricky part is to care for them and keep them alive until some of them next year, so fingers crossed for that. I am going home with a harvest, which is great this time of year. I always do. These will go straight into a curry tonight for dinner. But thanks for watching. If you enjoy, do the things, and I'll see you very, very soon.